Hare Krishna. Today, let us study what people in different modes of nature like to eat. First, in Bhagavad Gita, Sattva Guna people
Ayu
like to
Sattva
eat
Balarogya Sukha Priti Vivardhana Rashya Snigdha Sthira Hridya Ahara Satvika Priya.
foods dear to those in the mode of goodness, increase the duration of life, purify one's existence, and give strength, health, happiness, and satisfaction. Such foods are juicy, fatty, wholesome, and pleasing to the heart. By juicy, Krishna means that we can make fruit juices, vegetable juices, and all types of vegetarian juices that are full of vitamins and minerals and that are good for our heart. Juices also mean those that can be drunk, which can be made into a milkshake. Coconut water. Fatty and wholesome means those which are made from milk. Like I said before, milkshakes, ice creams, cheese, paneer, and sweet items like payasam, rasagulla, gulab jamun. So the food should be full of vitamins. It should not be a burning to the heart, and it should not be pungent like onion and garlic. All food like idli, dosa, our vegetarian items, Kerala sadhya, ghee rice, payasam, all these items are good. Fatty does not mean non-vegetarian meat items or fish. It means nuts that have lot of oil content in them, like cashew nut, groundnut, badam, pista, walnut. A wholesome meal like a Kerala sadhya is also good for us. Potato, tapioca, sweet potato, all these come under tubers. Banana stalk, banana flower, raw banana, ripe banana, all these help us with lot of vitamins and water. Green leafy vegetables like palak, cabbage, different varieties like ponnangani, chakravarti. We have in Kerala green and red varieties of amaranthus. Then we have uluva, kira, or methi leaves, coriander leaves, curry leaves. These are also coming under Sattva Guna. If yams and also colocasia can be made into very palatable dishes, then they also come under Sattva Guna. It should not be itchy or grossly irritating to the throat and mouth. The typical weed that we find around us, which we use for biology experiments, where we use it to take ink and change its color. So that variety of green leafy vegetables also can be used for cooking and comes under Sattva Guna. Minimum amounts of ginger, peppers, and turmeric also can be used as Sattva Guna food items to give flavor. Pepper can be used, red chili also can be used, but in small quantities. Old food items are not Sattva Guna, they come under Tamo Guna. Beans items, brinjal, amla, different pulse varieties and cereals all come under Sattva Guna. Drumstick leaves, drumsticks, sprouted beans varieties like chana, or green gram can also be used in our cooking to improve the protein and digestion. There is a special period in the year which is called Chaturmasa, during which some items are to be avoided. During the last month, for example, of Chaturmasa, we don't eat urad dal. Second month, we don't eat curds. Third month, we don't take milk. Similarly, the first month, we don't take green leafy vegetables. Except for these 4 months, the rest of the year you can eat all these items and get all the benefit of nutrition from them. Milk products like ice cream, curds, Srikhand, paneer, cottage cheese, different types of cheeses are all very healthy. We have not heard of any time when milkshakes or ice cream caused some distressful situation for any human being. Should just take care of the quantity of these items that we consume. The food should be tasty and pleasing to the heart. Sattva guna causes happiness. The person never feels distressed after eating Sattva guna products. To flavor the Sattva guna food, we can use cardamom, mustard, jeera, cumin seeds, methi seeds, asafoetida, cloves, cinnamon, and other spices in limited quantities so that it is very flavorful and also healthy. Curries made out of curds, coconut, tomato are also very healthy, are in Sattva guna. Fruits like mango, apple, pineapple are very rich in vitamin C and are very good for our health. Vegetables like beetroot, cauliflower, cabbage, carrot, some of these contain vitamin A and help us to have a good eyesight. Dry fruits like raisins, figs, and dates can be used. Ragi is especially rich in iron and calcium, and it is said that Hanuman used it to keep his brahmacharya. Other than rice, you can use wheat, corn, maize, and other such cereals, oats. All these are good and are in Sattva guna. Now let's go into the type of food found palatable by those in Rajoguna. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 17th chapter 9th sloka, Katwamla lavanati ushna tikshna ruksha vidahina ahara rajasha sheshta dukkha shoka maya prada. So bitter foods like coffee, tea, or very hot food items, or too salty, too sour, pungent, dry, and burning are very dear to those in the mode of passion. Such foods cause distress, misery, and disease. Food like onion, garlic, which make people cry, foods that cause severe distress while eating, those which cause stomach aches, all these foods come under Rajoguna. Though bitter gourd is bitter, it still comes under Sattva guna. And though alcohol is also bitter, it comes under Tamo guna. Too much of sour food items like vinegar, tamarind also come under Rajoguna. Very hot and spicy or salty food, when they use too much salt, like in pickles, that also come under Rajoguna. Fresh pickles are allowed, but pickles that have been old become Tamoguna. There are some people who drink too many lime juices per day. Even that is not allowed. So 1 lime juice per day is enough for maintaining the vitamin C levels. Though it is sour, it is in Rajoguna. All types of pickles come under Rajoguna because of their salt or Tamoguna because of their age. Just sufficient pepper or chilies is enough. When you add more that causes distress, that is when it becomes Rajasic. Like more number of spoons of chili powder, that is Rajasic. We may have noticed that some food items cause headache, a stomach burn, a heartburn, or nausea, vomiting. All these symptoms are caused by Rajoguna foods. So we must avoid them. Even in modern medicine, it is said that too much salt will cause hypertension, and hypertension can cause hemorrhage and stroke. So too much salt should be avoided. Highly acidic sour foods can also cause stomach ulcers and severe belching and gastric irritation. So these things come under Rajoguna. Now let us study the type of food items liked by people in Tamoguna. So Bhagavad Gita chapter 17, text 10, Yata yamam gata rasam puti paryushitam chayat uchishtam apicha medyam bhojanat tamasa priyam. Food that is prepared more than 3 hours before being eaten, food that is tasteless, decomposed, putrid, and food consisting of remnants and untouchable things is dear to those in the mode of darkness. Tasteless food that is old and food that has got already flies and maggots around it, these are all decomposing food items which are loved by people in Tamoguna, ignorant people. Tamoguna means ignorant people. So we don't see much of it in India, but we see people in China and other places where they eat such things. Food that has been spat on, which are the remnants of somebody else, and untouchable food items like fish, meat, eggs, these are not even touchable, leave alone eating. Such foods are palatable to those in the mode of ignorance or those in Tamoguna. Old food also means food that has been kept in the fridge for the night and then taken and reheated and used the next day morning. Such food should be avoided if you want to develop a Sattva and love for Krishna. It is better to eat fresh food made immediately, and if you cannot finish eating the food, we can at least distribute it to people who need it and finish it and avoid keeping things in the fridge. Tamoguna people enjoy decomposed, putrid, tasteless food. We all know that eating food which has been left over by a TB patient, for example, will pass on the infection of TB to the next person who eats it. So such things should be avoided. Remnants of food are suggested only for things like prasadam. So prasadam that has been offered, nivedyam which has been offered to Krishna and eaten as prasadam, that will help us grow in Krishna Bhakti. So such things can be had. Same way, Mahaprasadam, the remnants left by gurus and devotees, can also be had to improve our bhakti. Whatever remnants we eat, we will develop the type of nature that the person who ate it before had. So if we want to develop Krishna Bhakti, we should stick to food which is remnants of devotees. By untouchable items, things that cannot even be touched, such items are those things which make us impure, like dirty things, then non-vegetarian items, dead bodies of animals and birds and fish, and eggs, which are also considered very dirty. These things will prevent us from developing our Krishna Bhakti even by touching, leave alone eating. So the modern trends of eating chicken and meat and even different types of bats, uh, cats and dogs, everything has come into the menu of human beings nowadays. But just because other people are eating it, it doesn't mean that we also should eat it. If we are interested in developing Krishna Bhakti and becoming better human beings, definitely we should avoid such base tendencies. Our body is the temple of God, so don't make it the cemetery for dead animals. The body of animals is required for that animal to live. It is the house of the soul of that animal. So when we destroy an animal, when we kill it and take over its body, we are doing a big crime to that soul because it is shed of its house. So those who are interested even in increasing their property should avoid such base crimes. Food items like alcohol, intoxicating items like cigarettes, all these come under tamoguna. Ignorance. Out of ignorance, people consume such very dull food items. They are not even called food, but very base ingredients are being added into their food. These should be avoided by people who are actually interested in spiritual growth, because such things are like poison and it will cause death. So let us stick to sattvic food items that are good for our heart, good for our health, good for our well-being, good for our soul, good for our spiritual culture, good for our enlightenment, good for increasing our Krishna Bhakti, and good for living a very wonderful life of health and prosperity. Krishna has provided a lot of wonderful vegetables, a lot of beautiful things which can be eaten, which is non-violent, which is not gross and difficult for us to imagine. So let us stick to a happy and healthy diet. Hare Krishna.